It's your boy TJ, and today's topic is Rachel and Kiera lies. Yes, 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 yes. Now I know you probably asking. Hold on. I know you're asking like, what's the deal, T? Well, you know me. I've never been the type to. It's in there. I got it. I got it. It's right there. I remember. I've never been the type to bullshit anybody. You know what I'm saying? I've never been the type to to lie on anybody or anything like that. Uh, but I do must say this. In the town of Little Falls, Herkimer County has a 98% conviction rate. 98%. And I see why. I see why. I'm going to lay it out for y'all, and then I'm going to show y'all evidence. Hold on. Now, me being who I am, I'm a very petty person, especially when I know I'm in the right, especially when I know I have evidence. So, I would like for this to be shared all over. First off, this is my evidence. Rachel Harrington forces her children, Kira preferably, into making false accusations against people, preferably men. When Rachel Harrington cannot get her way, or when her daughter tends to run away and start doing multiple drugs, she forces her daughter to tell a lie, putting innocent people in jail. So I'm here to break that fucking stereotype. Now, Rachel Harrington is known for lying on people, preferably men, because she don't want nobody digging into her background. She don't want to seem like she's a bad mother. But I'm here to break that stereotype right now. Rachel Harrington had her daughter, Kiera Harrington, put a case on me, knowing that it was a lie, knowing that it will probably, not even probably, that it will damage my image and my reputation as a businessman and as somebody who cares for battered women and children who's been molested or raped. Now, I feel bad for the women who really got raped and molested because you don't just use ammo like that just to get your way to say, I can destroy this person's life. Okay? I have a statement from somebody, Tanaya King, that places me in Brooklyn, August 7th of 2024. I'll give you time to read. August 7th, 2024, Racheal and Kiera went to the DA and had an indictment put on me. Now, I never came back to Little Falls, New York until March somewhere 2025. So I walked into a secret indictment. August 7th, as you can see, can you see it? August 7th, I was in Brooklyn getting the Western Union from my lady. Kiera made a statement that I sexually molested her. A statement. A year later, she made a statement. Now, here's the thing. Your Racheal Harrington tried to get the oldest daughter, which was Summer Harrington, to put a report on me. When Summer didn't do it, she kicked her out the house and turned around and threatened Kiera Harrington. Racheal Harrington threatened Kiera Harrington. If she didn't do it, she'll put her back in Fourth Winds, which is a drug facilitated hospital slash mental hospital. Okay. Summer Harrington was right there witnessing everything that went down. She even wrote a letter for me. I want y'all to read that, stating what was done. You would think, with all the evidence that I have, I'd have walked, right? Western Union tickets from August 7th, 2024. Tracking number, all that. The person who sent me the money, all that. It is funny that if I'm living with somebody, why would they have to Western Union me money if I'm in the same house with them? In order for somebody to Western Union me some money, I have to be a great distance away where I can't get back to them. Now, if you look at all the Western Unions, and I want y'all to look at it, look at all the dates. Look at all the dates. Okay? It's damn near back to back. It's damn near back to back. Look at all the dates. Look at all of it. Look at all the dates. It's damn near back to back. So that should have proved that I was nowhere in Little Falls. Here's more proof that they lied on me. Kiera Harrington on August 9th, 2024 had a conversation with my business partner, which is Tanaya King, because we run a company called the House of King and Queens, where we protect women and children from domestic violence and sexual abuse. Her statement is, I'm going to read it out to you, then I'm going to show you. Tanaya asks, are you okay? She says, Kiera says, I'm okay. Tanaya asks, how are things going at home? Kiera responds, I haven't been home. How come? Kiera responds, I do not know. Question mark. My business partner put a question mark. Kiera responds, I did not feel like it, I guess. I just don't know. My business partner asks, how long has it been since you've been home? Kiera responded, 8 days. So if this was August 9th, 2024, and you put a case on me August 7th, well, you didn't put the case on me until a year later. And the charge was for August 7th. Makes no sense. Let's count 8 days back from the 9th of August. 9, right? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So that means you left and ran away from home August 2nd or July, whichever one it came, but you ran away. Then my business partner asks, where have you been sleeping at? Right? Where have you been sleeping at? Are you okay where you been sleeping at? My business partner asks, I know the last time we spoke, that we talked, you told me you wasn't home. Are you back home now? Kira responds, not really. Then Kira responds, after my business partner put a question mark. This is her response. I've been making my presence felt sleeping here and there. Right? Doing my own thing. My business partner said, I assume less stress. She says, Kira that is, in a way, yes. My business partner responded, I understand. My business partner also responded, your home is supposed to be where you get peace of mind, but if you don't have that in your own home, you rather be outside? Kira responds, there's always going to be stress. It's always going to be stress. I do prefer to be home, that is. Laughing my ass off. LMAO. And she, Kira that is, put, I am causing, look at it, chaos for myself and anybody around me. So, I've been running around causing chaos for anyone and myself. That's crazy. That's crazy. Because my thing is, in the court in Herkimer, John Resposani, who's supposed to represent me, did not do his job. He mishandled my evidence by not presenting it to the judge. So because he did not present it to the judge or the DA, they figured I did the shit. So Racheal has a habit of teaching her daughters, or should I say daughter, to falsify paperwork to keep the police and CPA from investigating her. Now, how you don't know that your daughter getting higher for crystal meth? How you don't know that your daughter's getting higher for shrooms? As a parent, you're supposed to identify your children's actions, especially if their personality tends to change. Now, I know what y'all saying. Well, Taveras, if you had all that evidence, Why didn't they accept it? According to John Resposanti, this is hearsay. But I looked it up. Hearsay is when the person say, I heard it from this person told this person, as a third party or more. This is coming straight from the so-called victim's mouth, that she was running around causing trouble for herself and other people. Now, here's what my lady spoke to her sister, and this is what it says. You want to see what the response was to that? Yes. So the mother kicked the oldest daughter out because she wouldn't lie on me. So now they're trying to ruin my reputation, my name, my business, all because of what? Now, according to these people, they saying that these tickets, which comes from Western Union, let me show you the title, that way you know I'm not lying, which come from Western Union, it states, well, how do we know you was in Brooklyn when it just says New York? Because by this being upstate New York, and Brooklyn's considered downstate New York, they need something that says Brooklyn. My rebuttal to that is, even if it didn't say Brooklyn, I wasn't in Little Falls around no crime to do no crime. You understand? So why sit there and lie? Let's go over it. Let's do this like the law would do it, shall we? Your grandmother lived downstairs. And you mean to tell me something happens to you and you don't go downstairs to your grandmother? You don't call police right then and there. You wait a year to put me in a secret indictment. You throw order protections against me. You try to have my lady child taken away twice through CPA. You understand? So at the end of the day, I have enough evidence where the judge and the lawyer and the DA should have said this man was not there to commit no crime, that they are falsifying paperwork. But because this is Little Falls and Herkimer, they believe the females off the bat. An all white town, and me being the black guy in it, if a white person makes a statement, it must be true. There should be no evidence shown, according to Herkimer. But at the end of the day, if I'm presenting all my paperwork to show that I was never around, let me make it even more clear for you. How can the owner of the house not place me here, but the victim can? So called. Why is there police reports when this victim ran away, but yet the reason why I cannot obtain it is because it has something to do with a kid? And in that report, it states I was in Brooklyn. You understand? So to everybody out there who knows anybody that's been falsely accused, always keep your paperwork like I did. like I did. If it hadn't been for Tanaya King, who keeps my records, Jennifer Cook, who also keeps my records, I would have been cooked. Literally. So they say, well, how we know you was in Brooklyn? If I was in Albany or Syracuse, I still wasn't around that crime. What's happening? So for me to be blamed after I showed all this evidence to my lawyer and he did not present it, I was set up. Now, I tried to take it to trial, but my lawyer finagled his way out of it. John Resposante finagled his way out of it. He subpoenaed the owner of the house, who was willing to testify. Oh, I will, once the truth come out. He subpoenaed my business partner. She came all the way from Brooklyn. She wrote a statement, had it notarized, sent from the 73rd precinct up here. John Resposani did not want to go through that trial because he knew that he was supposed to present my evidence. That's called mishandling evidence, or shall I say malpractice in law terminology. Racheal and Kiera Harrington had done this to 5 other people. And I need people to know the truth, to hear the truth before they start assuming and accusing. So with all the paperwork I have that stated I wasn't here, all my witnesses that stated I was not here, you mean to tell me y'all still, that Herkimer County is still trying to place a case on me? I'm trying to raise money to get an investigator. Like if anybody was to come out here and go in the park, oh I know, and they ask any of the kids, who is TJ to y'all? You know what my nickname is out in the park to them kids? The safety guy. Because I protect them from them dangerous ass pedophiles and them rapists out there. I will go to war to protecting a battered woman or battered children at any given time. But what Racheal did, the reason why Racheal did this is because she couldn't get away. I am dealing with Jennifer Cook, right? Racheal wanted to have sexual relations with me and I dubbed her. She wanted to have sexual relations with my brother. He dubbed her. So at the end of the day, because she couldn't get what she wanted, she put a case on me. Even in her other relationships with the guys that I spoke to, when she couldn't get her way, she threw cases on them. One was a police officer. She ruined his life. One was in jail with me, and he spent 3 years fighting this case. So, who else is going to be next on this list? Who else? She can't go to Ilion. She can't go to Mohawk. She can't go to Utica because nobody wants her in the town. She is trouble. So I need people to step forward. I need people to step forward and help me stop her from falsifying paperwork and ruining these people's names. I need a petition made up, which I'm going to make up a petition, and I'm going to make photostatic copies of all my paperwork, and I'm going to put it all around town. Since Shauna, what's her name? Shauna from Stewart's in Little Falls. Want to be best friends with Racheal and want to go around saying, oh, TJ got booked for this, TJ's this, without coming to me and asking to see the proper evidence. Would y'all like to see the evidence again? Let me show y'all. Because I have no problem with proving my case. August 9th, 2024, she ran away for 8 days from the house. That's when she was smoking crystal meth and taking shrooms. If I show you my other paperwork where Jen contacted me in Brooklyn while I was on Bing Live telling me how she was admitted to the hospital for cutting herself up and ODing off of crystal meth and shrooms, that is the only reason why I came back. Because I knew that her mother was mentally abusing that child. But if you call CPA due to the fact that they know multiple people at the county, they always call Racheal and let them know who's making reports on them or when the next worker is going to come and check on their house. I made numerous reports to the police of them harassing me. Nothing got done. Nothing. So, common sense, me having common sense, you think I'm going to take this charge? You think I'm not going to fight this felony? I have not been arrested this is my first arrest. Clean record to being 44 years old. I'm 44 and I have the cleanest record. Now it's about to be tarnished with a felony. A felony which I can prove I never was around or didn't do. But according to Herkimer County, according to Judge, what the fuck is his name again? Crandall, and John Resposante, the lawyer, they always move to the favor of females. So even if you have evidence that says you wasn't around, John Resposante is not going to present it because his job is to feed you to the DA. So let's look at what they had offered me. The first offer was 4 years in state prison. I said no. Then they dropped it to 2 years in state prison. I said no. Then they said a year in Brooklyn. But then they changed their mind because they knew if I'd have presented the same evidence here, I'd have beat them in court. So they kept me in Herkimer. Then they said, if you sign these papers, we'll drop your felony to the lowest misdemeanor where nobody can see your record. I said no to that. Because I knew I was in the right. The judge sent me for a PSI, for probation investigation. The lady who spoke to me was a lady named Kate or Kathy. I can't remember her name correctly, so don't quote me on that. Me and her got into an argument on the telephone a day before my appointment. A day before. So I went in. She said, let me see the evidence that you have since you sound so compelling. And I showed her all my evidence. She made photostatic copies of my evidence. And then wrote a letter to the judge stating that I wasn't willing to cooperate. She took everything that we'd said on the telephone from arguing and put it in that report as if I came to the office and said that shit to her face. The judge remanded me for 30 days. I got the PSI done at the jailhouse of Herkimer. My probation officer asked me to my face, why didn't I present this to John Resposante? And I told him I did. He said, why didn't he, the lawyer, John Resposani, did not present it to the judge? I said, I don't know. And the look upon his face let me know right then and there, he knew I got set up. He knew that John was not trying to represent me. So I'm going to make a complaint against him too, John Resposani, for mishandling evidence, for not presenting and not defending me like he should, even though he took an oath at the Bar Association to defend his client to the best of his ability. Now, according to John Resposani, he could not use this Western Union statement stating that I was not in Little Falls because it wasn't a hard copy. But yet, when I looked up the definition legally of what is a hard copy is any letter, receipt, picture, ID that's been used in another borough, country, or any place besides where that crime took place. That's called a clad alibi, an official alibi. So at the end of the day, I got railroaded and I'm not going to stand for this. So I want everybody in Little Falls, everybody at Herkimer, when I put this paperwork out there, I want to see who's going to try to deny it. I want to see who's going to deny it and who's going to say that they can beat where I was on this date. August 7th was the accused date of when Racheal made her daughter say that I assaulted her. Now, let's go to what I told John Resposani. I said, I have evidence that showed that I wasn't here. I got an email from him that says, even if it didn't happen on that day, it doesn't mean it didn't happen. I said, you by law, if you're putting a statement down saying it happened here, at this place, at this time, that's the only way you could bring me up on charges. But you can't bring me up on charges if there's no place, no date, and no time. Then he had the nerve to tell me to stop because I tried to file paperwork at Herkimer County. They would not allow me to present my evidence. I got kicked out the court 10 times trying to present my evidence. John Resposani hit me back talking about that is called harassment. I've never heard a court saying that a victim like me who's being lied on is harassing them to look at evidence. I never heard of that. Now, if you look it up, even if I have a lawyer, I can file any paperwork on my own. But what the law says is you have to talk to your lawyer. But other than that, you can still file paperwork. Herkimer would not allow me to file my paperwork. Judge Crandall would not look at my paperwork. And I need answers for why they would not do that. I need answers on why is it okay for a lawyer to sit there and hold evidence that can prove his client's innocent, but you want to make him look guilty. I need answers. You understand? So at the end of the day, I need y'all to pass this around. I need y'all to understand that I am not what they say I am. They're ruining my image, my name, and my reputation. They're ruining my business to teach. They're ruining my business to counsel. They're ruining my business to make a living. I cannot make a living by them placing lies on my name. And yeah, I got paperwork for everything. You see how thick this goddamn folder is? My license as a chaplain officer is on the line, right? These are my transcripts of all my certificates from me counseling family members, me helping people in jail bounce back and teaching them how to be resilient and not be upset with their past. For me helping women who was wrongly convicted of a crime. For me helping people in recovery, teenagers and adults. For me helping people that's misusing substance abuse. For me helping people with opiates addiction, how to reverse overdoses to saving lives. For me helping people at business corporations. For me helping people that want a second chance in life on how to do it. Me helping children and women who's been abused. Even with the legal studies. That's why I'm so adamant on what I'm doing. Family counseling, for me helping families. For me knowing the proper procedures in courtrooms. For me helping criminal processing to help people on parole or probation to help them easier go through it by letting them know how to go about it. For me identifying and helping people in sex trafficking, children and women. For me helping people navigate through conflicts so that way they won't beat themselves up or be mad when people point the finger at them. For me helping people get their humanity back from alcohol abuse, substance abuse, child abuse, trauma abuse. Me helping kids heal from sexual abuse. Me keeping kids safe on the internet from predators on the internet. Me helping veterans who was locked up behind bars, helping them get their lives back. Me showing people their strength and letting them know that their past mistakes is not them. They're a whole new person. For me helping people seek jobs with criminal records. And for me getting certificates and awards for business and leadership. So you mean to tell me I'm a threat? When Racheal and Kiera is going around filing false reports? My name is Taveras Jackson, aka TJ, aka the Safety Man. I represent the House of King and Queens as CEO and co-CEO. My business partner Tanaya, she is CEO, co-CEO, secretary, whatever you, everything, advisory, record holder, she's it all. Jennifer Cook, that is the research department. So you mean to tell me with all the certificates I done showed that's supposed to be helping people, all the evidence that I showed about me being lied on, you mean to tell me Herkimer County still won't look at it? It is something wrong. Expect me to get a petition about Herkimer County because they need to be investigated. John Resposani need to be investigated. This is TJ. Y'all have a great day. And remember, never let somebody make you take a plea deal that you know you didn't do. Never let somebody make you say you did something wrong when you know you're in the right. Y'all have a good day. And I'm out.